It's America, baby. We're going live.
No. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
It's hump day, guys. It is the day before Independence Day. God bless America. God damn it. Look at this. I'm all America'd out. I got my Ban Idiots Not Guns shirt. I got my Bullets Across America hat. We're celebrating today, baby. It's Freedom Week, and we are doing it with the Book of Pook. It is story time with Paul and Pook, baby. Today is going to be episode 6 of the Book of Pook series. We are going to be going over, if you're looking at the paperback, we're going to be going over chapters 27, 28, and 29. It's a little bit different if you're reading for free at bookofpook.com. But I'll drop a link to that there in the chat. If you guys want to follow along, I highly recommend it. This is, if you guys are just tuning in, you guys can tune in to any episode of the Book of Pook series. You don't have to watch them all the way through, although it will be helpful when it's all done to go back through it. But there's nothing really in chronological order. You know what I mean? So these are all just forum posts that are compiled from the old So Suave days. And this guy, Pook, if you don't know who Pook was or is, nobody does. It was a guy, it was a handle that he used on the So Suave forums. And So Suave was a pickup artist forum where guys would get together and swap notes about how to pick up chicks. And that's where Rollo Tomasi got his start. He was a moderator on the So Suave forums. And someone compiled all of Pook's articles and made it into a book. And now they've made it into 3 books. So the original Book of Pook is now, if you go to get the paperbacks, it's now Book of Pook Volume 1. But that's the original Book of Pook. So we're going to go through chapters 27, 28, and 29 today. Eliminate desire or not, on shyness, and on the nature of sexuality. We're not at the 8-minute mark. I already messed up the monetization with the opening video, though. And I put that right at the beginning because I'm probably going to have to clip that out. So if you missed the America F yeah, and you're watching the replay, I had to cut that out because of copyright strikes or whatever. But it's the day before the 4th of July. We had to incorporate America into today's topic, even though today's topic really has nothing to do with America. Anyway, before we get into Book of Pook today, let's do some housekeeping here. Guys, do please subscribe, hit those notifications. I have episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, no matter what. Drop some comments, sound off in the live chat. It's more fun when I'm interacting with you guys. That's why I like doing these live chats. Plus, it gives you guys an opportunity to send some super chats and not be so stingy with it. I know y'all got the money. Y'all are sending $500 super chats to cute chicks with sticks of butter, eating sticks of butter. But, and I recognize I'm not as cute as her. I could eat a stick of butter. I'd probably throw up, though. So I am giving you actionable information, though, right? So at least send your boy some ducats for that actionable advice. And I'll tell you what, if you guys send $20 or better super chat, I'm going to present some titties for you. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into these today, right? So the first one is eliminate desire or not. Now, all 3 of these today are kind of interesting. I read through them last night real quick. And basically these 3 chapters today, a couple of them are pretty short, which is nice. That's why we're able to knock out 3 chapters today. But they're all in response to someone else's post on the old So Suave forum. Okay, so these ones aren't like his original work. He's replying to someone else. And a lot of, I think maybe all 3 of these, someone was either asking a question, they wanted clarification, or they were criticizing something he was saying. So he's basically deering here now, but he's just clarifying a lot of this stuff, right? So eliminate desire or not is the first one. And he says here, I replied to this a long time ago, and it used to be in the archive. I guess now that since it isn't, the question comes up again. So originally posted by DJ Dreamer, this is a quote. Originally posted by DJ Dreamer, the guy that wrote "Embrace Your Sexuality" is the same guy that wrote "Kill That Desperation." The author is Pook. His excellent rhetoric provides camouflage for his contradiction. It's not possible to be horny and not needy at the same time, unless, of course, you're a think about sex and have no sex sexual. And I would disagree with that. I think you can be not needy, right? Which Pook gets into here, right? So he says, some people ask, why does Pook hammer the same points again and again? Just read the above. There is no contradiction. Keep in mind also that the time between those two posts was years. I'm a bit wiser now, but the same principle applies. Look at it like this. Years ago, when I first came to this forum, I was a nice guy. Now I'm going to get how am I going to get the women? One thing I said back then was kenoing, right? So he's talking about keno escalation, which is a form of seduction, right? It's where you touch a woman, you break that touch barrier, and that touch gets her up in her feels and makes her want to do it, right? That's one way of doing it. So he goes, one thing I said back then was kenoing. I said it because it worked, and it does work, guys. It works very well. He goes, I said kenoing turns you into a sexual being to her. If you do not keno her, she will see you sexually as a mannequin. Why? Because mannequins do not initiate keno. Years later, I do not keno a chick, certainly not on first dates. Why not, though? That's when I was reading this last night. I was like, why not, though? Right? Because he's about to get into all this about how he's years ago he was all about keno because he thought that was the only way to seduce chicks. But it's a tool in your arsenal. Like, why wouldn't you use that, though? I don't understand that. It's an excellent tool, right? I mean, you could also learn some mode 1 verbal seduction skills, that Alan Roger Curry used to teach. That works too. Like, they all work. Why not use them both? It's like a double whammy. You know what I mean? It's the old 1-2 punch. He goes, okay, I do not keno a chick, certainly not on a first date. Contradiction. Pook is contradicted. What you're forgetting is that after years, I'm no longer that old nice guy. The nice guy comes across to a woman as boring and sexually a zero. Nice guys also seem safe. So when I started kenoing and stuff, I got an instant reaction from her. Why all of a sudden I am a sexual being. One difference from those old nice guys days is that I've gained 30 plus pounds of muscle mass, dress better, talk better, more confident, etc. I'm already a sexual being. If I start kenoing a girl now, it will be seen as coming on too strong and too desperate. I disagree, Pook. I think that's kind of a self-limiting belief. Right? You're just breaking the touch barrier, right? And if you do it naturally, I mean, that's not coming on too strong at all. We've got a couple of super chats here. Not $20 super chats, though. We'll get to those here in a minute, guys. All right. One difference between those old nice guys days is, okay, we already said that. This is why I now agree with anti-dump in that archive thread. I'm not for or against keno. I also wouldn't recommend nice guys to act how I am now. So now I disregard talking about keno or how you say things and just talk about sexuality. I'm already a sexual being now. There is no need for me to keno a girl. She will know I'm being a sexual being already, or she'll know I'm a sexual being already. I do not need to touch her. Yeah, but why not, though? You know what I mean? Like, why not just do it anyway? It's not about need, bro. It's because it's like a lot of this kind of stuff, right? Being a sexual being, it's like when you have the urge to do something, you just do it and you don't apologize for it, And I'm not talking about being crude and grabbing a chick by their breasts or anything like that. That's, inappropriate. But if you have the urge to grab a girl's hand, grab her hand, If you have an urge to go in for a kiss, go for a kiss, man. You know what I mean? Don't apologize for it. Let's see here. But the nice guy needs to embrace his sexuality. He is a sexual dud. You need to look, act, and think like a guy. If I put up a sexuality scale, some guys would be at low sexuality, nice guys, while some guys would be at the higher end. I honestly can't say the specifics of how one should act or say to a girl because everyone is different points of the scale. For the nice guy, kenoing goes a long way, but for me now, it's overkill. I don't think it's ever overkill, but whatever. The desireless, let's see, the desireless is to not be needy, or is to be not needy. The desireless is to be not needy. You want her, but you do not need her. It is a big difference. That's a good point, which goes back to the beginning, right? About this guy up here at the beginning says it's not possible to be horny and not needy at the same time. Absolutely is, especially when you have an abundance mindset, right? If you have an abundance mindset, if you've actually spun some plates, you realize that getting chicks isn't that difficult. So if one chick rejects you or whatever, it's like, there's 4 billion other chicks on the planet. Who gives a shit, right? That's where you're not needy because you know you're going to get it eventually. It's not a big deal. You don't need it, right? You still want it, but you don't need it. You know what I mean? It's like I want a pizza, but I'm on the keto diet, so I don't need the pizza. So it's totally different things, right? Desperate guys need a girl to complete themselves, to make themselves feel happy. I say these guys got it backward. They ought to complete themselves and make themselves happy, then go for chicks. This is where, man, I say this a lot, and I've been saying it a lot lately. But happiness comes from up here, right? Happiness comes from within. And a lot of guys are trying to make women their source of happiness. They're trying to make money their source of happiness. They're trying to make anything else their source of happiness. And all those things are external. You're expecting something external to complete you. And if you have that mentality, you'll never be completed. You'll never be happy. Right. We're going to get into this on Friday more, but I had a client that was sort of, ruminating, and he was kind of spinning out of control, and he reaches out to me and he's like, I don't understand, dude. I don't get it. Like everything is going great. He and I have been working together for a long time now. And he goes, my money's in order now. My fitness is in order now. My social skills are in order now, but my career's in order. I don't get it. Like, I still feel like something's missing. Why can't I just feel happy? And I go, because you're expecting happiness to come from some external source, bro. And he goes, well, how do I be happy? And I go, just be happy. And he goes, what? And I go, just be happy. And I go, do this, right? We'll talk about this on Friday, but I sent him a video. Have you ever heard the song Happy by Pharrell? I go, you watch that video. You watch all the people dancing in that video and just having a fucking good time. If you dance along with that video and you sing that song, man, you can't not be happy, right? So I go, watch this video, dance to this video. And then when you're done dancing to that video, I want you to think about 10 things you're grateful for. Snapped them right out of it. We'll talk about that more on Friday. So you ought to complete them. Men ought to complete themselves and make themselves happy, then go for chicks. Live, laugh, love, he says. Notice the order. Get your life together, make yourself happy, then go for the chicks. He goes, some people complain that it is work. Well, what is the point of having a girlfriend or a fleet of women if you have no direction in life and chronically melancholy? Defeats the purpose. Women are to enhance your life. Fools think that women will define their life. I think 90% of the problems on this board is because they mix up the order. All right. So that's the first chapter. Very short, right? Eliminate desire or not. And he's basically saying, like, you can want chicks, but you can want chicks and not be needy at the same time. All right. We have a couple of super chats here. Let me get to these. Brother Nathan with a $2 super chat. He says, beer club. Yes, guys. Beer Club.
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yeah, he definitely fucks. And then we got brother Ed with the $10 super chat. He goes, America Beer Club. Cluck, yeah. You can cuss as past the 8-minute mark. We're going to give him this one because this is his favorite.
Shame this horse.
Yes, we want to shame these horse. Yes. Shout out to Elena Spars Fitness for that sound drop. All right. What else do we got here? We got a whole bunch of guys in the chat. Yes, Beer Club is in the house. What's up, AJ? He's our brother from across the pond. Let's see here. That happy song reminds me of my ex-wife. Ooh, well, then maybe don't listen to that song. There's other songs out there. Let's see here. This is true. Don't bemoan what you don't have. Enjoy what you do have. Yeah, we're really going to get into it Friday because Friday's episode is going to be on practicing an attitude of gratitude and how if you're depressed right now, if you're depressed or if you suffer from anxiety, it is impossible. It's actually impossible to feel depressed or anxious at the same time that you're practicing gratitude. So if you're sitting there thinking about all the things you're grateful for, your mind can't deal with those different emotions. So if you force yourself, you consciously practice gratitude, you'll snap out of all that shit. It's pretty fascinating. So we'll go into that more on Friday. We're going to be talking about, I'm going to give you guys like 20 reasons how practicing gratitude will fix your mental, your mental health. All right, guys, let's see here. We better do some housekeeping here. Guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you a bunch of free stickers. I got this one here. Girl, you know I'm a bad boy. If you don't want stickers, though, just put don't want stickers in the address field. I won't waste a stamp on you, but you get 20 dating app openers that are guaranteed to capture a woman's attention for 7 words. You also get a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, which is available on Amazon and Audible. It's also available in the Kindle edition. So if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, get the book. If you guys have an Audible subscription, use your next credit on the book, all right? And then, guys, check out my new fitness course, okay? It's a mini course. It's designed to help you get in shape, and nothing will get you feeling more confident than being in shape. If you are overweight and you feel awkward and you're not going to look good with taking your clothes off and stuff like that, you're going to want to check out the course, especially if you've never dieted and maybe you've tried other diets before and none of them work because they're too complicated and you feel like you're starving and all that kind of stuff. Check out the course. I make everything simple for you. And I give you the only 4 or 5 exercises you need to get started. And you can just do these exercises forever, right? These are the only exercises you need that'll get you a full body workout. So check out the course. Let me play a commercial for that. And then we'll get back to the Book of Pook.
Tired of complicated diets and time-consuming workouts? Does your busy schedule leave no room for the gym? You're not alone. Thousands of men struggle with the same problem. The frustration of not seeing results can be overwhelming. But what if I told you there's an easier way? Introducing the Basic Diet and Fitness Mini Course, your no-nonsense guide to getting fit. Learn the only 4 exercises you need and master the secret of effortless weight loss with the calories in, calories out method. It's time to break free from the cycle of failure. Start your journey to a healthier, stronger you today. Sign up for the Basic Diet and Fitness Mini Course now, because every man deserves to feel confident and fit. Transform your life, one simple step at a time.
Visit fit.comeonmanpod.com and sign up today. No more excuses. Oh, snap. Brother John hooked up the entire beer club today. Hold on. Let me put this away. Here we go. Brother John with a $20 super chat. Beer Club wants the tatas today. America. Fuck yeah. Here we go.
Thank you for the super chats. Boobies bouncing, can't stop that. From the east to the west, you are the best. Keep those chats coming in, let's do it all again.
Woo! Woo! Nothing says America like bouncing titties. All right. Okay, the next chapter, guys, is called On Shyness. Again, this is another one where Pook's just responding to someone else. So he says here, as a formerly extremely shy person, if you guys are shy, listen up, okay? As a formerly extremely shy person, I can say that shyness is not a form of insecurity. In other avenues than person, shy people can be extraordinarily confident. It is entirely possible to be confident but introverted. It is also possible to be insecure but extroverted. No, shyness is thinking that everyone is looking at you. It is a form of junior high school following you. If you get up from your seat, people will look at you. You speak up, people look at you, and so on. This means you will less likely speak, less likely get up. And since every time you do, you think you walk on a stage and everyone will notice you. What shy people need to realize is that you could walk in front of a bus, get thwomped, and no one would really notice. No one is going to care what you do or who you are. You are not a celebrity. You do not have cameras pointing at you. You are not important. You are nothing. There's a guy that he's kind of big in the MRP space. He goes by Rule Zero Dad. He says this all the time. He's like, you ain't shit, and that's okay. You ain't shit, and that's okay. Nobody fucking cares what you're doing. I did a whole episode on this about guys needing to break out of their shell and go out in public more. And one of the things I challenged people to do was to go out to dinner by themselves. Just go out to dinner by themselves. And a lot of people won't even do that. They won't go to the movies by themselves because they think that people are out there judging them. No one gives a fuck. No one cares. Right. So this is sort of what Pook's getting into here. Oh, you know what? I am so retarded. I am so retarded. I just realized this the other day, but his name is Trees Are Made of Wood. And I keep calling him Trees Hair. Oh my God. So I just noticed it the other day because his username's like all in one thing, and he was commenting on. I go, oh, it's Trees Are Made of Wood. Oh, what an interesting name. Anyway, you missed some tatas. Someone sent a $20 super chat. Yeah, someone sent a $20 super chat. So anyway, you also missed the first chapter I read today, so you can go back and listen to that later. Let's see here. Shyness is also confused with hesitation. Hesitation is usually a result of unfulfilled desires. As humans, we yield to less pain rather than more pain. Should I approach her? We yield to what we think is the less pain, not approach. Hesitation is solved when we realize that inaction is more painful and that rejection is better than regret. So yeah, people, I think I learned this from Tony Robbins, but people will do more to avoid pain than they will to seek pleasure, right? They will do more to avoid pain than they will to seek pleasure. So what he's saying here is a lot of people, to avoid that rejection, they just won't approach women. And then they're unhappy, right? And they sit there and live in regret. And then they're constantly thinking about, oh, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, but they didn't, right? And so it's better to just go and see if you get rejected, right? It's better to be, rejection is better than regret. So he quotes a guy here, number 2, get a job. So he's basically going through here, replying to someone else's post. And this other guy is talking about, I guess this guy was talking about how to get over your shyness. And so Pook is like quoting certain things in there, right? So number 2 on the original post was get a job. The guy says, get a job in which you work with a lot of people or in which you have to talk to a lot of people. Start working in a big store, for example. At the start, it's scary talking to all the people, but after a while, it becomes second nature. And then, so Pook replies to that. And he goes, your number 2 of a job was one of the things that helped me. More interestingly, I worked with only women. Aside from getting used to women, I got to figure out what was going on in their minds. Every day was a religious experience. The number 4 option the other guy talked about was go out. This one is more aimed at the younger people, 25 or younger. Go out. get offline and go out. Every Friday and Saturday, go out. Go to the club with some friends and have a good time. Dance, socialize at a club. Socializing at a club is easy because everybody is there because they want to socialize. Talk to people you vaguely know from something. Hey, wasn't I in the same school with you at blah, blah, blah? Okay, now don't stop going out until you are comfortable going out alone or until you run out of money. When you are comfortable going out alone, you probably have a lot of vague acquaintances, which leads to a point. So Pook says, good post, but I don't think number 4 will help the shy people. Usually shy people are pretty smart since they are reading and such rather than socializing. And many will think the clubbing and dancing scene is stupid, which is fine. We all have different tastes. As long as you go out and do something you like rather than where you think the girls are, you'll do fine. I'd take a museum, opera, or art gallery over any club, but that's just me. And tons of chicks are there too. Not everyone is into the clubbing scene. I used to, when I was out in the dating circuit, and I talk about it in my dating course, but it's good to stay busy, right? Have things that you go to, be a regular somewhere, right? Every like Tuesday night, I would go down to the bowling alley in Montrose and bowl by myself. I would just go down there. I would buy a pitcher of beer, get some hot wings, and and get a lane. And then I'd bowl a couple of games by myself. I would talk to the people in the lanes next to me, but it just got me out of my house, you know? Every once in a while, there were single chicks out there bowling by themselves too. It was interesting, but it was more for me to just have something to do outside of dating, you know, and to get the fuck out of my house. So that's something I just recommend anyone do, not even someone who's just shy and trying to get over their shyness. I think everyone should just get the fuck out of their house. If they're single, just get out of your house every once in a while. Mrs. Wright's not going to break into your house, right? You have to put yourself out there somewhere, right? So go do something you like. I agree with Pook that the clubbing scene's not for everyone. Man, I used to love going to clubs when I was in my late teens, early 20s. The last time I went to one was with a red pill chick, like right when we first started dating. I took her to San Diego and she had never been to a big city before where there was clubs. She goes, I want to go to a nightclub. And I was like, really? What the fuck? Like I was already like 36 or something. And I hadn't been to a nightclub in forever. And so I took her to one and I fucking hated it. I was miserable there. I was like, this fucking sucks. I can't hear my own thoughts. It's so fucking loud in here. So not for everyone. It's hard to be social when the music's so fucking loud. You can't even, hear someone else talk, right? Okay. On the DJ chat, I saw this problem come up numerous times. It wasn't that the guy was scared of rejection. He was scared of success. Pook, what do you mean? Why be scared of success? Because if she said yes, he didn't know where to go. What should they do? He had no idea. This is why before you can start to date women, you must be able to date yourself. That's right. Date yourself. Try going out to these places by yourself with your friends first. This will make you more comfortable. You already know the place, you're comfortable with it, and know what to expect. This is important since when you are with a girl and new to it all, it is enough for the shy guy to be out with a girl, It is enough for the shy guy to be out with the girl, let alone in a new and strange place. This will make your job a lot easier. This is also why I say when you're out in the dating circuit, have a go-to place for first dates. Just, you don't even have to think about it. Because one of the big things that guys get wrong with dating is they ask women what they want to do. Women just want to show up looking hot. They want you to make the plans. They want you to set the tone. They want you to lead. So instead of asking them what they like to do and what they want to do, just say, you seem like a cool chick. Meet me at this place at this time on this day. Right? You're telling them what to do and where to meet you. And you'll get more yeses that way. You will. And then when you go to the same place all the fucking time, it's like muscle memory. It's like you've been on this date a million times. She's the only one that's on this first date. You've done this a bunch of times. You start getting to know the staff there, right? Which gives you social proof, right? It's a win-win. You know it like clockwork, and you're just running a playbook, right? This makes you prepared. You could speak of the places or so where you want to go with confidence and ease. You know the route and the best way to drive there. You know what the costs will be, what the environment will be. So you know how much money to take and what to wear. For the shy guys wishing they were girls, this is why you should be thankful you are the guy. You get to know beforehand where you want to go, so you have all the time in the world to be prepared. And I think what he means by the shy guys wishing they were girls is the guys that are passive, that want the girl to make the first move. They want the girl to ask them out. They want the girl to make the plans. That's what he means. Break that habit. Fucking break that habit right now. Be the guy that makes the plans and sets the tone and leads. You'll get to do everything you ever want to do. You can't lose with this, right? But what if she says, I don't want to do that thing? Then you dump that bitch. Okay. There's 4 billion other chicks on the planet. Okay. Stop overthinking this. And then it makes you have fun. With you being comfortable and prepared already, your time will be more enjoyable since you have all those shy guy worries put away, like what to wear, the cost, what the environment is, and so on. You get to focus on her and have fun with her. Good luck, guys. Don't let anything steal your joy, he says. All right, so that's the second chapter. Let's see here. What are the guys in the chat saying here? Mike says, been going to dinner by myself for 20 years. Ain't no thing. Yeah. I've been to the sauna on my own. Was a great experience. People are happy to talk to me, even though I was there alone. Yeah. People don't care. Like a lot of people do stuff alone. Right. Let's see here. Trees are made of wood, says the pleasure pain ratio. And let's see here. John Egan says, if you don't approach, the answer is 100% no. If you put on your big boy pants and do, you have a chance at a yes. True. Okay. Trees also says, I go to art exhibitions. I used to moonshine, so there's no way I'm paying for watered down, overpriced booze. Hell no. You like the hardcore shit, right? Okay. All right, guys, we are on the last chapter here. This one's a little bit longer. Those other 2 are pretty short, right? So this last one here is on the nature of sexuality. Before we get into that, let me give a shout out to Beer Club. Guys, join Beer Club, beer.comeonmanpod.com. It's a good group of dudes. Most of them are in the chat right now. And the way they're joking and bantering right now, they do this shit all day long in Telegram. They're swapping notes in there. We had a guy in there this morning ask what books we recommend for his dad to get into the married red pill. And so we all started listing off all the books, right? I gave them a list of all the books from the sidebar, and then everyone's recommending Ryan Stone's books. That son of a bitch. I recommend Ryan's books too. And but yeah, we're now this guy, he asks a simple question, gets an overload of information. Now he can pick and choose what he wants to do. Like, people are asking questions in there all the time, and guys are in there giving actionable information. It's pretty cool. We're in there leveling up. We have 2 guys I've been posting on social media that have lost a lot of weight. One guy's lost 34 pounds since being in the group just in the last couple months. One guy's been in there over a year. Last year, he decided to take his health back, and he's lost almost 90 pounds since last year being in the group. And it's phenomenal. He said, so his goal was originally to get down to 200 pounds by October. He's already at 208 pounds. And I go, fuck, dude, by October, you could get to 180. So I hope that's his new goal now. If you're watching, I hope that's your new goal, brother. So anyway, guys are in there leveling up. Get in there. It's a good place to swap notes. It's only $10 a month. Okay. And then, guys, if you want to work with me one-on-one, coaching is available at coaching.comeonmanpod.com. Okay. Let's get through this last chapter, guys. On the nature of sexuality. So again, this one, he's replying to someone else's post, right? So Diesel, I used to think the same about women at one point, but I cannot walk away from a riddle. And what better riddle is there but woman? It ended up blossoming into studying sexuality itself and how it transcends the sex act itself. You will find it in art, business, politics, society in general. Oddly, I could never define woman. Nothing was there. Was Weiniger correct? I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. I think it's Weiniger. Was Weidiger correct? The more time progressed, the more it became clear to me that I was trying to define a mirror. In my mind, it seemed I posted an article on femininity, but it ends up being on masculinity instead. The more I looked into the core of woman, the more I saw the spirit of man. You guys need to go back and watch my yin and yang episode. It's, but Paul, that's esoteric chick crack mumbo jumbo. No, it's not. No, it's not. I take the chick crack out of this stuff. Okay. I distill the useful information out of the chick crack for you guys. Okay. That's what I do. I'm all about that chick crack. So you don't have to be. Okay. Women seem more like a touchstone who streaks men and see if they are gold or not. How many men had their lives transformed by not obtaining the love of a woman they wanted? And they were transformed not in the sexual way, but into something more. Almost every biography I've seen of the world changing men always contains the fact that they fell in love with a woman and did not get her. Washington, Adams, Dante, he turns Beatrice into heaven in his immoral epic. Beethoven, practically all poets, practically all famous generals, etc. It is as if these guys saw their own wimpish, worthless reflections in the women they saw and changed their ways. I believe it was Kierkegaard who said, "It is true that behind every great man there is a woman, but it is always the woman he did not marry." Isn't this true? Like how many guys have ended up in the red pill space because of a breakup, right? And a lot of guys find their way to the space because they're trying to get that girl back, right? I've talked about this a lot. My good friend Benny, who's been on the podcast like a dozen times, he's making a fucking fortune right now helping guys get their exes back, right? Which I think is a terrible idea, but get your bag, brother, right? I mean, not that he's doing that. It's a terrible idea that guys want to do that in general. Like that's just a bad idea. But he's making a killing, helping guys do that. And that's what it is. Like these chicks, they divorce us, they dump us, whatever happens. And we finally get to maybe we go into the next relationship. Like, well, it's just one chick like that. Right. And then we find out that the next relationship, we have the same fucking problems. And then we ended up getting dumped again. And then we eventually come to a place where we take some fucking accountability. And we go, what the fuck are we doing wrong here? Right. Some guys never take any accountability and they stay in that red pill rage phase. But eventually you take some accountability. A lot of guys do. And they go, okay. On the common denominator here, what the fuck am I doing wrong? What do I need to do to make sure that this is less likely to happen again? It could still happen, right? There's no guarantees in this world, but less likely to happen. And they start studying this stuff, right? And it's funny because then they start leveling up. Some guys, they realize this in a dead bedroom, in a marriage, and then they do all the work necessary to turn that all around, right? But it's almost like women make us better. Almost like the pursuit of women makes us better men. It's weird. It's like when you first get into the space and you're like, I need to get better with women. And then all the stuff necessary to make you more attractive and less unattractive just makes you a better man in all areas of your life. And you're like, holy fuck, like this is one big self-help program. And the motivation is pussy. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, a theme of Shakespeare is that when his characters condemn, they condemn themselves. If you look at this in real life, it becomes quite fun. It is amazing how many people condemn themselves. A poster on this board who rages relentlessly against AFCs probably still is an AFC at heart. The antisocial hermit who says, those people clowning around do not understand life, condemns himself. If you combine these two, you will get reflections of people. The nice guy who sees the woman as angelic and pure, he himself is innocent and angelic. The guy that sees women as Machiavelli creatures is often himself a Machiavelli creature. The guys that see women as bitches is himself acting like one. The guy who sees women as a play toy is himself merely a play toy. And the guy who sees women as only things to screw is himself merely a thing whose purpose is to screw. It's fascinating to me to see this everywhere. One thing that seems more clear, man and woman are not two, but one. Perhaps there is more truth than we realize in the ancient phrase of the two as one flesh, rather than the modern view of two atomized individuals in a legal contract. He's basically talking about projection here, right? A lot of guys that are bitching about women and the gynocentric social order, like, yeah, they're projecting. It's like, oh man, it's like the guys who complain that women only like money, right? Guys that think that women, all they care about is money, are the guys that lead with their wallet, and that's all they have to offer chicks, right? In the end, the joke is probably on us. We're trying to post/rationalize what should be natural. This site, including its sister ones, seem more and more ridiculous to me. Guys who think they are men because they get women, which are insanely easy to get anyway, are like Don Quixotes who think they are knights because they caught windmills. See, this is a guy who's gone into the red pill. He's studied the red pill and then come out on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, once you get to a point, you realize, I mean, these tools are great. They help, like all the mental models are nice, but everything is supposed to be natural anyway. That's why a lot of red pill is evolutionary psychology, because it gets you back to understanding masculinity, understanding femininity, understanding like the animal nature of sex, and then go, wait a second, why is this so fucking hard? You know? Women are emotional not because they are stupid, but because they play nature's role. Imagine if we men gave birth. Why, in delivery, we would bite our lip, think that we ought to be a man and not scream, which is a shame since screaming assists in the birth. A man knows that it is right for him to shoulder and conquer pain, not unleash it on others. If man was pregnant, he would kill the child through his own being. The woman screams, talks, blabbers, unleashes her feelings, which is necessary for her to carry the child to and through delivery. It is also noticeable that children gather around the mother. They seem to relate to her better. But when the children turn to adults, they gather around the man as he shows the example to live by. You know, Pook has never had a man cold, and it shows. I'm just kidding. I always joke with Nurse Chick used to, when I first met her, she was a labor and delivery nurse. So she dealt with, you know, women in labor and pain and stuff like that. And I always joke with her. I go, yeah, but that's nothing compared to a man cold. You know, women, when they give birth, they get really close to knowing what it's like to have a man cold. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not one of those pussies that's just completely debilitated when I have a cold or whatever. Like, I still go out. I tell my clients this all the time. Like, when I had COVID, the last time I had COVID, I still went out and ran. I think I had a fever and everything. I still went out and did my exercises. I was just a little bit slower, but I was like, no excuses, fucker. And I was going out there doing it. I'm not sitting around just going, oh, woe is me. I'm fucking cold. I'm a little baby. A lot of guys are, though. So he's quoting this other guy now. He says, chicks get off on power. Why do you think they go for the jocks and the dudes with defined pecs and six packs and not some flabby, terrible poetry spouting loser like you? Power, baby. And the Pook goes, this is absolutely not true. Even when I was scrawny, I still scored chicks with my poetry, but it wasn't my poetry. It was my imagination that reeled them in. Musicians also get laid. Women go for rich guys and strong guys because of self-survival. Wouldn't you marry a woman with millions? Women are more attracted to imagination than power. They are only attracted to power in a survival way. They may marry the politician, but will sleep with the artist down the road. There was this guy who was really maxed out physically, so much so that he almost got on Baywatch. The girls nicknamed him Heaven, and so enters Pook. The guy saw me with the girls and rushed over to try to peel them away. It was like I was taking away his source of ego. Talk about pathetic. Women sincerely want the best life they can get and choose the man who supplies that. The power guys, either of physical strength or income or even influence, are placed in the self-survival slot. Women look around the room and wonder what income these guys are going to make. But women also want to do more than survive. They want to laugh and make the fatal mistake of romance by trying to make it last forever. The musician, the artist, the good poet all have a command of imagination and adds to her life in that way. Women think they deserve the best life possible and will seek it through you. He's basically talking about like alpha fucks, beta bucks, right? So the power guys are the beta bucks. That's why I always say, like, when guys talk about money, oh, women, all they care about is money. That's the beta buck side of hypergamy. But do you want to fuck? Like, if you want to fuck, you have to maximize some of these other things. You have to be an interesting guy, you know? But I can't really feel guilty for wanting to bone a lot of, so he's quoting this other guy. This isn't Pook saying this, but I can't really feel guilty for wanting to bone a lot of girls. I don't think my views on women reflect boldly on me or badly on me at all. I'm just honest with myself and with the caliber of woman that is out there. If I were to meet a woman that inspired me on all levels, then yeah, I'd probably change my tune. However, I can't say that I'm holding my breath for that day. And in the meantime, I sure as hell will not continue to live like a monk while pursuing some Quixotean quest for the perfect woman. I take what is presented to me in the course of my life. Pook says, hey, Diesel, I'm not saying you or anyone should feel guilty about how you view women. Men and women agree on one thing. They both distrust women. And then Diesel says, I have a bit of a romantic notion that one day I will meet a girl that will knock my socks off, but so far that hasn't happened yet. So Pook says, I think after a while, nature says this will not do. Therefore, I will place internal pressure in you to desire the LTR, to marry, to have kids. In time, the savage bull in time, the savage bull doth bear the yoke. And the Diesel says, however, to your point on imagination, you say that chicks don't get off on the power. Here, I will continue to disagree. And the Pook says, no, they do get off on power, but they get off on other things than that too. How can that jobless, starving artist be with that hottie? He is dreamy. When I was going to be a lawyer, chicks love that. They see lawyers as a type of power, when in truth, there are millions of lawyers crawling around who still end up poor. Being a lawyer won't make you wealthy. They don't see that. They see only the image. That reminds me, it's like a chick would rather date a guy who's like, yeah, I'm going to law school, right? Because they see the potential, than a guy who's already a successful plumber making, you know, $100,000 a year with his plumbing business. They're like, oh, a plumber, right? But it's like, plumbers make good money. But women don't see that. Women, you're talking about women brain, right? Women brain. They see the image. You know what I mean? They don't think logically. If they get the impression that I am goalless college-wise, career-wise, that my only sense is to pursue my passion, artistic or otherwise, they get off on that too. It's almost like they imagine in their head, this guy will be adventurous, and they want to be a part of that life. Oh, that reminds me. So Nurse Chick and I, we were watching American Ninja Warrior or whatever. Yeah, American Ninja Warrior, the one where they do the obstacle course. There was this guy from Fort Collins, Colorado. He was a bus boy. The guy looked like he was 25 years old, was still a bus boy. Like when I was a teenager, teenagers were bus boys, and usually guys in their 20s were the waiters, right? This guy was still a bus boy, but he did American Ninja Warrior. He was a rock climber, and he had a hot fucking girlfriend. I was like, if this guy can do it, why can't you? You know, it's not about the money. But if you're some boring nice guy who just wants to get some basic job and rot through life, then they will turn to you only as a last resort. Women want to be winners in life just as well as we do. When they are married, when they meet other couples, the women will examine each other's husbands. Who got the great catch and who didn't? Who won and who got the loser? Diesel says, isn't your premise of the control over the imagination, but another manifestation of power? If you can control and capture a girl's imagination, it sounds like just another form of power a man can wield over a woman. And then he says, I'll do a post on this. And then Diesel says, about the women wanting the best in life they could get and choosing the guy who can best give it to them. This is definitely not true. Women make incredibly stupid choices when choosing whom they marry for what seem to be an infinite number of reasons that defy explanation. Since each situation is unique, this to me accounts for the incredibly high divorce rate in this country. And the book says, who said women judge men rationally? In her mind, that loser is not a loser. He is a spontaneous exact. Fuck. Give me some energy drink. He is not a loser. He is a spontaneous, exciting person who adds to her dull life. Women will have anything: happiness, sadness, horror, fear, joy, laughter, but they will not tolerate one thing: boredom. They may even see the loser for what he is. They then think, I will turn this guy around. He will become successful because of me. This stupid female vanity lets women marry the loser despite everyone's advice to the contrary. This is one of the things that my dad told me when I was a teenager. He's like, son, get yourself a bad habit. Get yourself, like, maybe start smoking or something. I don't know. But women want to change a man. And I had a really hot girlfriend in high school. She was dating my friend Jared. And she and I were chatting about this one day. She's like, women love a challenge. They like a challenge. They want to fix a guy, right? Anyway, Diesel says, if what you say is true, then how come people divorce so much? And Pook says, excessive expectations. Everyone believes they are super special. Women in the 18 to 26 year bracket have these huge expectations that no man can fulfill. They get married at, say, 22. After a couple of years, they get bored and or realize that marriage is not some magical process of transcendence. She sees other women her age out having fun, but she is stuck with responsibilities. Oh, if she could only shrug off the husband and be single again. Unhealthy romance, the pursuit of the lover. Unhealthy romance, the presence of the lover. Oh, I'm sorry. Unhealthy romance, the pursuit of the lover. Healthy romance, the presence of the lover. It is almost a cult to many of these women and some men. These excessive expectations contains neither the friendship or civility that make marriage successful. It fulfills the way a drug fulfills, requiring new infusions to sustain the high. We've raised the romanticism so much that it's taken to be a personal and cultural panacea, a solve for everything, but not one thing solves everything. So they suffer the permanent disappointment of these excessive expectations. 20 years of affection, caring, friendship, the small favors husbands and wives do for each other is seen as boring to these cultists. But in my opinion, it is far more and greater than their stupid expectations. An obituary ought to be written. It'll be its tombstone when we bury this out of control romanticism for good. Which that ends this chapter, guys, and it leads us into the next chapter, which we'll get to on Monday. The next chapter is going to be romanticism in obituary. So that's the story today, guys. That's where we're at on the nature of sexuality. Hopefully, all that stuff makes sense. Let's see. What do the guys in the chat say here? Let's see. CW says, we joke, we rip on each other, and we level up in life, get in the club. Oh, he's talking about Beer Club. Trees says, no more Mr. Nice Guy is a great read, and so is Brian Tracy's Get It Done Now. Oh, I haven't read that one, Brian Tracy's. Read No More Mr. Nice Guy, though. Nah, Paul, I got into your channel because my ex, who literally tried to kill me, said you and Rolo's channel was what ruined the relationship because I called out the BS she did that. Oh, she didn't like that you called that out. Okay. I dig this channel because it gets me back to baseline when I was in my prime and I had my pick of the chicks and I've forgotten my old self. I'm getting that flow back. Always got to be in that zen now. Yeah. I was that way too, man. Like when I got divorced, I was out of practice for 15 years and I was like, I used to be good at this. What the fuck is going on? Mike says, facts. How many of us know the broke musician that gets laid all the time? What does she see in him? A lot of guys will go, oh, he's got a big dick. Well, it's not like guys are walking around with their dicks hanging out, right? The chicks don't even know he's got a big dick until he does something cool that makes her want to see the dick, right? So you can't say, oh, he's got a big dick. Like, that's not what attracted to her in the first place. I guess unless he was walking around with gray sweatpants. You never know, I guess. Tree says, when I didn't sell moonshine, I seen and hear all the scummy, fickle crap that party chicks would do. And yeah, they were there saying they missed their boyfriend while being with the Chad or the artist at raves. Yeah. As they say, you can do anything with a chick other than bore them. That is true. That is like the best rule of thumb you'll get from any of the entire Book of Pook, right? Don't be boring. Don't be boring, and you'll be good with chicks. And you'll have big dick energy. That's right, CW. All right, guys, that's all I have for this episode. Do please, before I hit that stuff, tune into the podcast Friday. I already mentioned this a little bit, but we're going to be talking about having an attitude of gratitude and starting a gratitude practice. Now, I first learned of this stuff getting into my law of attraction stuff, okay? But you could do it without, believing in the law of attraction, right? You could just be grateful for stuff. And what you'll find is that if you take a daily practice of just thinking about stuff you're grateful for, and it could be anything. It could be the fact that you have internet to be able to watch podcasts like this, right? Or listen to podcasts like this. You could be grateful that you have clothes on your back right now. You could be grateful that you had something to eat today. It could be that simple. But just taking the time every day and thinking about a couple of things that you're grateful for will completely shift your mindset into a positive direction. And it is really good for our mental health. And it's really good. And once your mental health is right, your physiology is better. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into all that stuff on Friday. It'll go hand in hand with what we talked about on Monday, right? Getting out of depression, getting out of the state of being anxious, right? Ruminating brain stuff. It forces you to be in the moment, in the present. And it's so good for our mental health to do it. So we're going to talk about that on Friday. Let's see here, guys, subscribe, hit those notifications if you haven't done so already. I have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thanks to everyone that sounded off in the live chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the $20 super chat there. Because that way, we got to see the titties. So thanks for that, John. And then follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list, list.comeonmanpod.com. You'll get a bunch of free stuff, including a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. If you guys haven't read it yet, get it on Audible. Use your next credit on it, or if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, use your next credit on it, okay? But it's also available in paperback and hardcover. And then, guys, do check out the fitness course, okay? If you guys need to get in shape, if you're overweight, something like 75% of Americans are obese now, I'm going to give you a good place to start, okay? The course is less than $30. All right. If you don't know where to start on your diet fitness journey and everything seems too daunting and time consuming and challenging, well, yeah, I mean, it's going to take some work, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. And you don't need any equipment, right? I show you how you can work out without any equipment in the course. And some of these exercises, like you do it in 20 minutes a day. Right? It's 20 minutes of your time. You don't need to be in the gym for hours to lose weight. You don't. Like, that's a big fucking lie, right? You can actually overtrain your body, but I teach you how to get your diet in check. I teach you guys, how to count your calories using free apps. It's the best place to get started. So check that out. Okay. And then, guys, join the beer club, beer.comeonmanpod.com. We'll hold you accountable if you guys are on your weight loss journey. We have a lot of guys in there losing weight. And then you guys can work with me directly if you go to coaching.comeonmanpod.com and you can book a free coaching call with me. All right, that's all I got, guys. We will see you guys on Friday. Be safe out there. Tomorrow, don't blow your fucking hands off with fireworks. And, if you guys have too much to drink, get an Uber, okay? We'll see you guys on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.